This is a tale as old as time, a story about friendship, trust, betrayal, poop. Once upon a time, in a sunny, slightly magical forest, lived a quirky friends. Barok was a chunky squirrel with an insatiable curiosity and a nose for trouble. His best friend Emok was a tall, skinny deer with a perpetual air of skepticism and a flair for the dramatic. One fateful day, Barok and Emok were strolling through the forest, arguing, as they often did, about the existence of magic. "I totally believe in magic," Barok said, his bushy tail twitching with excitement. "I mean, just look at this beautiful sunset. It's obviously the work of some higher power." Emok rolled his eyes. "Called perspective, Barok, not magic. And it's caused by the scattering of sunlight through our atmosphere after passing through water droplets to refract the light and cause those beautiful colors." Barok scoffed. That's just some made-up stuff you read in one of those human books. I bet there's a wizard who cast a spell to make the sky look pretty," Emok sighed. There was no point in arguing with Barok when he was being willfully ignorant. So he just shook his head and continued walking. But their lighthearted bickering came to an abrupt halt when Barok stopped in his tracks.
"Ewok, come quick,"
he whispered, his eyes wide with surprise. "Look what I found." The middle of their path was a large steaming pile of animal poop. It looked fresh, and it smelled intriguing. Barok had never seen anything like it before. It was perfectly round, almost like a ball. And the steam rising from it created an otherworldly mystical aura. To make it even more perplexing, it was glowing a faint green. Ewok approached cautiously, his nostrils flaring. "What in the forest is this thing?" he asked, his voice filled with suspicion. Barok, unable to resist the call of the unknown, reached out a paw to touch it, but Ewok grabbed his arm, his eyes flashing with panic. "Don't touch it, Barok. We don't know what it is. It could be dangerous." Barok shrugged off his friend's warning and poked the glowing poop with a twig. It wobbled slightly, but otherwise showed no signs of movement. Then, as if struck by an insane idea, Barok suggested, "The only way we'll ever find out what this is to try and taste it." Ewok stared at him in disbelief. "Are you crazy? We can't just eat random things we find in the forest. It could be poison." But Barok was already dipping his paws into the steaming pile, scooping out a generous amount and bringing it to his nose. He inhaled deeply, savoring the unique aroma. "It smells like," he began, his voice muffled by the poop in his paws. "A mixture of wild berries and damp earth with a hint of sulfur. I'd say it's safe." Without waiting for a response, Barok popped the poop into his mouth and began chewing. Ewok watched in horror as his best friend, his very smart, pretty much eaten something that could potentially kill them both. What kind of crazy animal left this behind? Was it a troll? Goblin? Maybe one of those giant magical birds that occasionally flew over the forest? Just as Ewok was racking his brain, trying to figure out what this creature could be, Barok swallowed the evidence and exclaimed, "Ewok, you have to try this. It's delicious." Ewok hesitated, torn between his curiosity and his fear. But seeing the surprised and delighted expression on Barok's face, he knew he wouldn't be able to resist that poop. Eventually, he gave in and allowed Barok to feed it to him. As the taste of the strange poop filled his mouth, Ewok felt a surge of emotions. It was spicy, tangy, sweet, and savory all at once. Couldn't quite place it, but it was unlike anything he'd tasted before. When he finally swallowed, his eyes widened in surprise, and he exclaimed, "Barok, that wasn't just anything. That was pure, unadulterated poop." Barok blinked, his expression confused. "What do you mean? That's what you said." Ewok stared at his best friend for a moment, trying to figure out if he was being serious, or if he was playing one of his stupid games. But there was no joke in Barok's eyes. He was genuinely confused. Realizing that Barok was being sincere, Ewok burst out laughing. He threw his head back and let out a loud, joyous laugh that echoed through the forest. It was at that moment, standing in the middle of the path with a pile of glowing green poop between them, the two friends realized they had shared something truly special. They had discovered the most exquisite poop in the entire forest. It was so good, they had dodged stepping in it.